Welcome everybody to On the Ice, brought to you by Caisse Financial Group and Pembina Source for Sports. On today's show, we get a chance to sit down with Mr. Darren MacMillan. He wears many hats, but unfortunately today he's not wearing one, but that's totally good because he has a much better hair than I do. Nonetheless, Darren MacMillan for the last 2 to 3 years has been working with some very good people in the Medicine Hat area to bring CSSHL hockey to the community. What does that mean for Medicine Hat and the area? What does that mean for student-athlete experience? And more importantly, how does that continue to breed great hockey within this league that we've been working with over the last couple of years, and seeing how well these players have a chance to progress to that next level? Darren's going to talk to us about how it's been working planning-wise over the last couple of years, as well as what still needs to get done during this current situation with social distancing and getting these players back on the ice as soon as possible. Welcome to On the Ice. As mentioned, Mr. Darren MacMillan, thank you for joining us on the ice. How are we doing today?
Good. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, and no hats today, but we have to talk, Darren, quickly about the role you play with not only just in Medicine Hat hockey, but also with South Alberta Hockey Academy.
Okay, so I mean, the first one that I would have had is just being a teacher. So I've been a teacher in the Prairie Rose School Division for 23 years now, and I've been working exclusively with the Hockey Academy the last 2 years. And then they also gave me the title of Program Development Coordinator. So basically all our special programs, including the Hockey Academy, I've been responsible of developing, and now just recently General Manager of our CSSHL teams. And I'll also be doing a little bit of coaching with them as well.
Okay, so you're probably going to be washing some equipment and maybe sharpening skates too. I don't know. We'll get to that when we get to that, right, Darren?
That's right.
So we'll get to the schooling stuff a little bit later, but I want to talk about the preliminary programming and how Saha kind of started, because it didn't just happen overnight. Like you said, it's taken about 2 years or so to really begin this brainchild. And now that it's come to fruition, like it's happening, it's going to be here this fall. Take us through the 2 years that it's been to kind of planning this and getting it in to the Medicine Hat community.
For sure. So we started with a meeting, and it just kind of fell into place where Willie was looking for an opportunity, and we were looking as the school division to grow something, to do something different. And when we met up with our superintendents and Willie, things just worked out. They were great, and I remember talking to him, and I was like, this happened like 2 years ago in, I think it was like July. And I remember sitting down with Willie, and we're mid-July, so we're basically just a month, maybe a month and a half out of school. I was like, oh, okay, so that gives us a year. We'll give a year to develop this, and then we'll get it going. And he's like, no. We're starting in September. I'm like, okay. And then I was like, okay, yeah, we'll start at the younger levels, and then no, we're starting at the high school. I was like, okay, here we go. So it was just diving in, and we've really continued that process ever since. You know, I started 2 years ago. I did a application to the CSSHL to try to get a expansion franchise in, and Hockey Alberta was quite comfortable with the number of midget AAA teams, if you will, or U18 teams that they had in the province. So they carefully looked at our submission, but we were declined, and then just pursued our high performance skills academy. We've been doing that for 2 years. It's been going great, and then we heard the rumors of Banff interested in a possible relocation, and it for both parties, this was a good fit.
You kind of mentioned, like, that's probably like the bread on the butter, how the two ends kind of meet. Banff looking for a relocation, the unfortunate decline of your application to the CSSHL, but now both of them working hand in hand to make this work for this upcoming fall. You said you began the program, the program development program a year ago. Now this just adds to that. So what do you see with the addition of the U8 or the programming from the Banff Hockey Academy into your South Alberta Hockey Academy?
So yeah, I think there's going to be some, I'm hoping to see a lot of like vertical integration, if you will. So we have our teams. We really believe that that was the next step for us. We were actually in the process of going to do some spring stuff this year, and then that didn't work out. But we felt that and that's always what we wanted, right? Were those teams that were embedded into the school day, where they could do all their training, all that stuff during the day. And then we believe that this is going to help our academies expand as well, our high performance academies.
So the High Performance Academy works with all ages still, or is it still focused in the high school level?
No, we have we were 7 to 12, and then last year we decided to try 4 to 6. And it's interesting because Willie kept saying, you know, we got to go younger, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to be a babysitter. And we did a 4 to 6 one out in Oyen, one of our communities, and it was excellent. And even back then, Willie was saying, like, this is when they're probably the most impressionable, right? When you can really make that impression on these guys and girls at that grade 4 to 6 age level. So we are trying that at 2 other schools this year, going to expand to 4 to 6. So we are 4 to 12.
Okay, so it's 4 to 12 grades, not ages, but grades.
Yeah, grades. Yeah.
The 4-year-old munchkins on the ice. I'm like, man, they got school to work. Like, they're not even in school yet, but I totally get that. The High Performance Academy, does it mold around the school year, and does it work with their school timetable? Right.
So our High Performance Academies that we have right now are basically like, it would be the equivalent of an option. So that it's kind of their option, one of their option courses, and it worked within the timetable. So, you know, at the high school, we will go every day in period 2, let's say. So period 2 in our tag, our homeroom. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, we go to the rink and we skate, we do skills. On Mondays is our dryland day. Wednesdays, we do leadership stuff. So Willie likes the word leadership for sure, but it incorporates, what am I looking for? Nutrition's in there, sports psych, speaking and presenting, like all kinds of stuff.
It's a well-rounded process. And yeah. A lot of academies work so that they go to school during the morning and then they have the afternoons for dry land practices, homework time. This is integrated within the school timetable. So like you said, it's a period or a section of time within their class schedule that they're doing this as an option, correct?
Exactly, yeah.
How many schools are involved in the Prairie Rose School Division that do this?
That's a really good question. So I'm just going to list them all. So Eagle Butte High School is one. We have that's grade 10 to 12. That's the one that I've been directly involved with the last couple of years. Irvin School, we've been doing grade 6 to 9, and we're going to expand to do 4 to 6 and then 7 to 9. But our 7 to 9s are so big right now already for next year that we're probably going to have 2 cohorts there. So there's 2 schools out in Red Cliff. We've had 2 schools out there as well. One 4 to 6 and one 7 to 9. So what do we have? 4 schools. There's 2 schools out in Oyen. Again, kind of grade 4 to 6 and 7 to 12. One in Foremost. And we have some of our other schools that they don't have an academy, but the kids will feed into that. So, I mean, upwards of, I think, 7 or 8.
This is not a small program.
No, it's big and it's expanding, and more and more schools in our division are kind of saying to us, hey, how do we get this? How do we get involved in it? So
that's my next question. I mean, like, you talk about like integrating a program and developing, you know, an itinerary or a syllabus, I guess, for this into their physical education program, but it's high performance. So if you have students that aren't involved, it's an option. So they have other things to do during those class times, correct? Like if they're not into hockey, let's say they're in a different sport, they could choose a different sport at that time, correct? Okay.
Sure, absolutely, yeah. Like we said, it's kind of their option period. So you know, out in Irvin, for example, kids might be doing other kids that aren't doing in the hockey piece will be doing. They might be doing fitness or volleyball or industrial arts or whatever their options happen to be.
How long does this hockey academy work through the calendar year? Is it a block? Is it a semester? Is it 2 semesters long? How does that work for their
our high performance is full year, so it's September to June, and we're on the ice twice a week. Typically up until a lot of our centers are smaller centers, so the ice comes out. So we're basically on the ice twice a week from when it goes in, usually around beginning of September to beginning of October. And then depending on how our local community teams are doing, that's when the ice will come out mid-March, kind of mid-April in there. And then when that happens, then we just crank up our dry land portion for the remainder of the year. So we go right to 10 months.
Darren, I have to say, and this is the first program that I've heard that's integrated within the school program, which is very interesting and genuine in that respect. And I'm glad to see it progressing and growing. With respect to the teams that are going to be performing in the CSSHL, how many and in which divisions are we looking at for the fall?
So we have 2 teams, U18 prep, male and female. So those 2 teams would be 2 areas two leagues that the CSSHL offers, I guess, that we don't offer in Medicine Hat, if you will. So there was a fit there for us to bring those programs to Medicine Hat because we don't have U18. We have AA hockey here, and we don't have any female at all. So it was definitely a fit for us.
How then are we going to field these 2 teams for the fall?
Okay, so we're really interesting times. Obviously, normally we'll be running a camp in years to come around the beginning of May, and that's like our camp or our tryouts. And from that camp, then we'll turn around and offer people spots on the team for September. We haven't been able to do that this year, so we've been actually having to go on kind of our knowledge and our connections and our resources. And with the boys, it's been a lot easier to kind of have a pulse on what's going on out there, including a lot of our own locals. Like there's a lot of good local players in Medicine Hat. Unfortunately, we've been losing a lot of them to sports schools. So we did a really good job of getting many of them back this year, which is part of our, not our mission statement, but it's in our vision, is to provide an opportunity to keep our locally grown talent in Medicine Hat. That's
for the community, that's very important, because the community tends to rally around local talent, the homegrown kid. They want to see that guy to the next player go to the next level. So are there going to be any players from the current rosters moving down or moving to Medicine Hat, or is it going to be a clean slate, or have there been offers given to those players to continue their education with Saha?
Good question. So it's definitely, as part of the relocation, we have the freedom to clean slate, if you will. The girls program, I think we'll end up with roughly 6, I think, girls that we're playing in Banff. In the boys program, there will be, again, because of going back to the local, the quality of our local players, I think we only have 1 Banff kid that's coming. There might be 2, but it's largely filled with local players.
Darren, we're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We're going to talk more about the relationship of the Prairie Rose School Division and how we're going to get the rest of these teams filled with rosters come the fall. Stay with us. We'll be back on the ice.
Thank you.
From Metalmaster. You had an accident? Sometimes they're embarrassing, but they're always inconvenient. We have an incredible staff to take care of you. We have platinum certified techs in 4 different categories. We are certified as a gold class accredited shop. If you've made a claim already, perfect. Call us with your claim number. If you need a claim opened, give us us a call. We'll walk you through it. Sometimes you can get a little nervous dealing with NPI. We'll help you out. From Metalmaster Auto Body, straighten it out.
Take a quick break. Before the break, we talked about the beginning, the preliminary roster decidings for the U18 squads. I have to ask you, you talked about the local talent. Because we're not on the ice right now, Darren, how are you going to be able to evaluate the skills and development, hoping that we get onto the ice before September?
Yeah, I guess so. Again, with the boys, I think we have a really, really good pulse on where we are and where the different players are because, again, we've seen them. Coach Braden Desjardins has been coaching in the bantam level for the last couple of years. So those are the kids that are coming up. He's well versed in especially the 04s, 05s. And then Evan Vossen, who is our female coach, coached U18 prep last year in Banff, the boys. So we have a really good idea of what's going on in the boys. We've got Petra, who was coaching in Banff last year with the girls program. And so her and Evan have been a lot of dialogue there and have some good indication of some athletes in that level as well. Now, hopefully, I would love to, because our rosters aren't full, I would love to still be able to, okay, like I just news from Alberta Health Minister yesterday that rinks are opening back up and stuff like that. Now, are they going to get ice in? If they get ice in, then we're going to try to run some type of little mini camps for sure to improve that evaluation. We've also asked on the girls' end, we've asked many of them to send video. So we've got lots of video coming in that we can look at that as well to help us.
What's the best way, I mean, to get in contact with you, Darren, before we go any further? How do they find out more about the Saha program and the academy itself? Online?
Yeah, probably the best one is well, I mean, really all of them. Our website, so South Alberta Hockey Academy.com, the website, information's there, and then Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. All have information on those to contact, and all those. I don't know if we said this, but I'm also we can add this. I'm also a Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and website academy, our website host, running person, whatever you call it.
You're a web host.
Yeah, I do all those. So anything that goes to anybody replies to any of those, it comes. Basically, I'm the one who responds.
That's good to hear. So South Alberta Hockey Academy.com is below. It's got the links. It'll have all the information. Let's talk a little. We talked about the rosters. What administratively needs to happen for these teams, if anything? Are we ready to go? We're just looking to start players getting signed in, or what else has to be done administratively for these teams to be prepared for?
No, we're ready to go. We are. I know you were going to mention it earlier.
September.
Did we lose connection there?
Nope,
about me?
We're good.
Okay. You mentioned earlier about our school division, and our school division's unbelievable. Like our superintendents are amazing, and it's what I've learned from them is the answer is yes. Now let's figure out how to do it, and it kind of goes back to what I said to you right off the hop with Willie. No, we're starting in a month kind of thing, and everything has been that way. We're just going to do it, and we figure out it out as we go.
So the players that are going to be playing for the U18 squads, are they all going to be in one specific school, one specific program within the Prairie Rose School Division?
Yep. So Eagle Butte High School is our host school. So all the kids will be enrolled in that school, and tell you a little bit about, we might not be there, but I guess this is the student experience right now, but we will spend our mornings, so every morning from roughly 8 till noon at a facility called the Family Leisure Center here in Medicine Hat. Unbelievable facility, like state-of-the-art, beautiful, gorgeous, has all the amenities in it. We'll spend 8 till noon there. And in that 8 till noon, we will be doing on the ice every day for roughly an hour and 15, working out every day for roughly an hour. And we'll also be in the classroom for an hour each day at the leisure center. And then in the afternoon, the kids will go to the high school and continue doing their core classes there.
So that'll be a typical day, Monday to Friday, unless they're on the road.
Correct.
Which is opposite of what I've seen from other academies, where they'll say, we're going to go to school from 8 to 12 and then offer that 1 to 5 slot for the hockey experience of the academy. Is there something behind flipping the schedule? Is it something, do you guys know something that I don't know?
I don't know. I debated, I tossed it around a little bit back and forth. One of the reasons is because our high performance academies are in the afternoons. So this allows our coaching staff to get out to the other venues to work with our teachers at our high performance academies as well. The reality is, you know, the facility, as you could probably appreciate, most facilities in big centers probably aren't really overly occupied at that 8 till noon time. So it was a fit for them too. It made sense for them, and we knew that going in, and that's why we went with that.
I mean, Darren, you've probably played many years of hockey, as I have. I prefer a morning skate versus an afternoon skate. Yeah,
we're actually looking. Well, I've been a teacher as well for 23 years, right? Yeah. I prefer teaching period 1 much more than I prefer teaching period 5, right? So the kids are just they're actually a little bit sharper, a little bit more focused, and even how the schedule is set up, it's kind of cool because our skates are at 8 a.m. So when we go on the road and we have to travel, we can get a morning skate in at 8 a.m. Pack up the bus, and we're gone at 9:30 kind of thing, and on the road, and we didn't miss a day of practice.
That's, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing how that schedule works come when the season finally starts. We talked a little about having the players all in the same school within the school division. There's timetable. Tell me or describe some of the other resources that will be available for these teams. I mean, the Leisure Center, like you said, it's not just a little blip on the radar. It's quite a fantastic facility.
Mm-hmm. So in the facility, we have our ice sheet there, and both teams, we've got the leadership. They've given us dressing rooms, so we're just in the process of now renovating them, which we've got from the old Medicine Hat Arena. We got the Tigers and the visiting dressing rooms stuff that we're going to now relocate into. You know, players will all have their own stalls and everything like that. So we have our own dressing room as well. There's 2 full-size basketball courts there, 2 full-size indoor field house, you know, your soccer. They've got tennis in there, indoor running track upstairs, all the weight equipment, the Olympic equipment, and just fitness areas. And the swimming pool outside, there's a turfed field that we have access to. There's also ball diamonds and grass fields, and classrooms as well. Like, it's really quite amazing.
That's a massive facility.
It is massive, and I think a lot of people in Medicine Hat actually don't even know what's all there. So a lot of hockey people in Medicine Hat, they'll go to, especially if you don't live on the north side, you go to the Leisure Center and you're just aware of there's a pool over there, but you know where the rink is, and you know there's a Booster Juice, and that's about it, right? Until I got a tour of it about a month and a half ago, and I was getting lost.
It sounds quite impressive, and it's great for a community to have a center like that'll now house 2 U18 squads, a part of this amazing program. What do you look for, Darren, personally? You know, when the puck hits the ice, first game, what do you envision those U18 teams to how they're going to perform, and what do you look to see out of this first season with the CSSHL?
Yeah, it's a really good question. First of all, I look to see a lot of travel. We know that. No, we're going to be, we intend on having very competitive teams. Our boys team already, of our 6 D-men, I think 6 are Western Hockey League, or 4 of them are Western Hockey League list guys. So certainly high end. We are great goalie, our forwards. We've got some good forwards. Girls as well. We're starting to have some pieces fall into place. Our goal is to compete every night. I think our teams will, I'm guessing we're going to be over 500. Like that's where I see us right now. And I see certainly within a few years competing for championships. I don't know if I put us in that right off the hop, nor do I think that would be a good expectation. But we've got a pretty good brand. We've built up a pretty good brand here, and I expect good things from our teams.
What are the teams' names?
So, I mean, in general, we're going to go with the South Alberta Hockey Academy. That's what we are. And then our high school is, the nickname of our high school is the Talons. So we will associate with that. Okay.
So do we have a jersey ready? Do we have, is that what we work in progress on that one?
Yeah, it's still in progress. There's a lot of people to come together and to agree on what it should be and look like. So yeah, we're still working.
We'll unveil that sooner than later, I hope.
Yeah, I'm excited. I want to get it out on social media, but we're still working on it.
What are the colors of the school?
So our school colors are actually black, white, and teal. And I don't know, see, and that's, if we're going to go there, our academy colors have been black, red, and white, but we're going to try to see if we can mesh a little bit closer with the school. And that's just that's kind of one of the things that we're hung up on right now and piecing that together.
Do you envision the potential of, local talent through this performance program you've built through the 4 to 12 grades being a feeder program leading into the U18 program and saying, this is an opportunity for you to go to the next level, for you to travel with a team? I know a lot of the CSSHL teams love the showcase weekends. It's great to see different parts of Canada, especially Western Canada, playing hockey. It's something that a lot of players don't have that opportunity. Do you envision this to be some sort of a feeder program for the U18 squad?
Definitely, and it's already happening at the female level. So our female numbers in our academy are huge right now. I think just at the one school out in Irvine alone, I think we have close to 20 girls registered out there. So I can that's definitely one of the, I guess, going back to, like I said to you before, the vertical integration is that people we're hoping will come to our academy as well and being part of that high performance. And then, yeah, we do have a lot of young girls coming up that, like I said, this coming year, we'll need a lot of out-of-town girls, but in the future, probably like around 3 years from now, there's a really good group of young girls coming up that should be able to feed into our teams.
For players that are potentially coming to Medicine Hat, that have never been to Medicine Hat, that would be considered an import player, how would you explain the town of Medicine Hat if they were interested in playing with you as part of the Talons, and what type of amenities should they expect to see, unlike in other towns?
It's a really good question again. So I'm actually going to start with our school. I'm just going to back up one step. So our school is a pretty neat school. It's our school is maybe 5 minutes outside Medicine Hat. It's actually a school that it's for all the surrounding area of Medicine Hat. Now, with that being said, we have a lot of Medicine Hat kids that come out to our school, obviously being 5 minutes away. It's a school, our classes are about 150 each, so grade 10, 11, 12, it's 450 kids, which in our area, we kind of consider that a little bit of a bigger school, but it has one hallway. So with 450 kids, one hallway, it really has a small school feel. Every student knows every student, every staff member knows every student, and it's a pretty neat school that way when you consider there's 50 staff and 450 kids there that really everybody knows everybody. The city of Medicine Hat, I mean, I moved here in 89, I think, and obviously I've gone away to go to school and play hockey, but this is when I moved here in grade 11, this is where I've always considered home, and it's a great place to live, raise a family. When the Chinook winds come through, it's nice in the winter. You get that little relief from the snow and the cold weather. And I'm hoping, like I said, the way our program's set up, and we haven't really got to the Tigers yet, but the way our program's set up and our practices and everything, that our evenings are free. So hopefully we can do some team bonding and get to a lot of those Tuesday and Wednesday night games and go watch some of that high-end hockey as well.
You must be reading my mind, Darren, because that was exactly where I was going next. I mean, you talk about Willie, you talk about the staff, the administrative staff that works with the Tigers, as well as with this new program in the CSSHL. A lot of, like you said, vertical connections and horizontal connections as well, because there's a lot of people that want to see both of these programs progress together. And that role model aspect for young athletes is so imperative, especially when they get to see their own players in Medicine Hat through the Tigers and the Dub make their next step. I mean, being in Winnipeg this year, having the ice in their inaugural year, seeing so many young fans in the stands, just seeing these players and getting to know them a little bit more. I can see that happening with the U18 squads and the performance program, going out to the Tigers games and offering their support within the community. Would you agree?
Yeah, and that's it's funny because I talked to Braden Desjardins about it as well. And so back in, well, I've already said I was a teacher for 23 years, so I've aged myself well. But back in 1990 and 91, when I played midget AAA here, that's what we did. We went to every game. So you look back at what happened, what was what in Tigers hockey, from Osgood scoring his goal, whatever it happened to be. We got to see all that and be part of that as well. And it was also great, team bonding for us to all go hang out and go watch those guys. And I think it's going to be a good experience for our U18s. And like you alluded to, hopefully we'll see the connection of kids going from our high performance program to our U18 team, and then eventually maybe, I mean, it depends where it fits, but hopefully to the Tigers. A few locals are certainly on to the Western Hockey League and NCAA anyways.
Yeah, the WHL draft clearly sees Alberta, Saskatchewan. I mean, all four provinces. Manitoba gets the 4 out of 4, but I mean, the other 3 provinces definitely get a lot of great talent. The CSSHL, I believe, had 11 first-round picks out of the Dubs this year, which is very impressive when you consider the talent that is going to this league, as well as being a student-athlete-driven program through their mission statements. The doors that open up are tremendous. Whether you stay and play, whether you want to be a student-athlete moving forward, whether you want to take a break and just, work towards youth sports. I mean, the opportunities become endless when you enter the CSSHL.
I think it's amazing. Like, here's my take on it, and this is from talking to a few people as well. So you look at the leagues, all the leagues, in the CSSHL obviously is a very good a league and very good talent and players. That being said, I mean, whether it's the Alberta Bantam League, the Alberta Midget League, the Alberta Female League, those are all really good leagues. Like, they are good. Yet it seems like we see more kids come out of the CSSHL than those leagues. And it's not because they're way better. It's just because of exposure. Like, you're playing in Victoria and you're playing in Winnipeg and everywhere in between, right? And just that exposure that you're going to get. Actually, I totally, you mentioned that earlier about our younger kids and being exposed to some showcases. We're actually hosting a female one, which is going to be exciting in January. So what the CSSHL is doing this year with their female program is all 13 teams are they're in the same league. They go to the same showcases. And so we're going to have 13 teams in Medicine Hat putting on the showcase for our girls. And I think that's going to be amazing for female hockey in this area as well.
No, it's a great league for exposure. And it's a great league for allowing players to see Western Canada while playing hockey. It's truly impressive.
Well, that and just the concept again, the concept of your school and your hockey and your training and everything being embedded into your school day. And yeah, you're starting at, I say 8 o'clock, but let's be honest, nobody's showing up at 8 o'clock. It's probably closer to 7:30, and you're finishing at 4:30, but you're done, right? You get to go home and you get to have dinner with your family or your billet family, and you get to go to Tigers games and do stuff like that. So I think just that concept of being able to embed everything into the day and put it all under one roof is quite awesome as well.
Darren, you're a teacher for many years. You've mentioned that several times. When it comes to performance in the classroom, when it's lackluster, does that equal not penalties, but guidelines to which student athletes need to follow so they're doing well in the classroom as well as on the ice?
Not so much. I mean, I just treat them separately. So I'm a teacher, and if performance is lackluster in the classroom, then I make performance better in the classroom, right? I'm not the type of person that's going to go to the basketball coach and say, hey, I'm teaching one of your kids and he's not doing his job. Well, no, I'm the teacher in the classroom. That's my job to make sure that they're performing. So to me, they don't have to overlap. We just do our job in the classroom. So part of that daily schedule that I have, and we didn't really talk about, is there's a time there, I think Friday we have an hour in the classroom I call academic ownership. And then we have an hour in there where this is when they're with me in the morning at the leisure center, where I have access to all their assignments. I can see if they're failing. I can see if they have incomplete assignments or not handing in assignments. I can see if they have any absences that aren't excused. And then that's where we really, at the end of the week, let's catch up. Let's make sure we're good with everything and stay on top of it. And then we'll throw in a study hall at the end of every day as well. Now that study hall for me is, you don't have to be there if you don't need it. So it's just as needed. If you're doing great and knocking it out of the park, then you're good to go. So, but for me, the two they won't interconnect. As a teacher, I'll just do my job to make sure that they're staying up with their academics.
Academic ownership Fridays with Darren MacMillan.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to a Zoom meet on that one.
Yeah, I've told them, I actually tell parents, well, I said, if everything's good, that's great. It can be a little decompression time for them. And if any of those things aren't up to par, then I make their lives miserable for an hour. And all the parents like to hear that.
Yeah, that's, you know what, the ownership. That is a key word for 18-year-olds or U18 players, because at that time they should understand what it takes to get on the ice, and they should understand what it takes to get in the classroom.
For sure.
You know, a lot of, we see a lot of social distractions. We'll see a lot of different distractions that you and I probably didn't have when we were teenagers, but nonetheless they are there, and we're able to sift through the wheat fields and the Chinook winds, if we may, and make sure that we're on the straight and narrow.
Yeah, the only one piece, there is one little piece that I'm kind of a little bit leery about, that it'll take some adjustment, especially coming off our current situation, is those early mornings and a change of schedule, right? So eventually but we're going to work these guys hard, and girls. Like we're going hard on the ice, an hour and 15, like I said. Then we're going to go hard in the gym for an hour every day, and then we're going to go hard at school. So I'm assuming they'll be petered out by the end of the day, and hopefully we can adjust their schedule so they're going to bed at a good time and waking up at a good time. But that'll be the only adjustment for them. So
you'll see both squads on the ice every day, pretty much.
Yep. So every day they'll be on the ice, and actually our high performance academy that's at Eagle Butte on Tuesdays and Thursdays, they'll be coming into the leisure center as well. And I'm really looking forward to that environment on Tuesdays and Thursdays, because at that time we're going to have basically close to, I don't know what it is, maybe around 60, 65 Eagle Butte students will all be there. We'll have 20 out on the ice, 20 in the classroom, 20 in the gym. And I'm just looking forward to the environment and the buzz in the field there.
That sounds like an amazing buzz, not only around the school, not only around the hockey program and the leisure center, but everything happening surrounding this move and this inclusion now of these two teams that are going to be at the U18 level. Darren, I'm looking forward to it. I'm kind of excited. I see the excitement on your face as well, and I know the people behind the scenes have been doing a lot of great work on this. Is there anything you'd like to, finalize and say to anyone before we say goodbye?
No, I'm just looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to high-end hockey and helping develop high-end people. This last couple of years, being associating with people like Willie Desjardins, Emerson Edom, Stephen Meyer, like it was, it kind of started believing, well, do you know what the percentages are? Do you know the probability of this going to the NHL? And then you start talking to these guys and said, do you want this? Because you can do it. Here's what you need to do. And that belief that you can actually, to get to that next level, and surrounding yourself with those people is amazing. And so hopefully we can start getting that rubbing off on our students and our student athletes in this area as well.
There it is, SouthAlbertaHockeyAcademy.com. Darren MacMillan fields all the questions, the answers, the questionnaires, everything. Send in some videos. If you have any inquiries, do send them in. Sounds like a great program and a great community up in Medicine Hat. Darren MacMillan, thank you for joining me on the ice.
Thank you.
This has been Theo here on Amateur Sports TV on the Ice Show with the South Alberta Hockey Academy's Darren MacMillan. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.